Ladies and gentlemen, hello once again on Cowboys Insiders. Today, the Dallas Cowboys could shake up 2026 NFL draft due to the signing of George Pickens. The Dallas Cowboys were listed as the team that could shake up the entire NFL draft. So the following are breakout campaign during his first season with the Dallas Cowboys. George Pickens is ready to cash in the Dallas Cowboys. George Pickens recorded a career high in reception of 93 yards and 1,429 and touchdowns of 9, so establishing him as the one of the premier playmaker in the NFL. To ensure they can keep him around in 2006, the Cowboys used the franchise tag on Pickens, which will pay him approximately $27 million. The two sides can still work on a long-term deal, but there is no indication that the Dallas Cowboys will even entertain an extension at this point. That's why a Bleacher Report, Christopher Knox, says a draft day trade is possible for the Dallas Cowboys to extend the long contract with George Pickens. So what would shake up the entire NFL draft? According to ESPN's Todd Archer, the Cowboys have not had discussions with Pickens about a long-term deal. If an extension doesn't seem either likely or sensible, trading Pickens and getting a receiver on a rookie contract could be an option an oxalot. It might not be an option for a Dallas Cowboy where are likely to exercise. However, if prospects like Arizona State, Jordan Clayson, and Ohio State are Corner Tate, or Mukai Lemon is sitting there whether a Dallas is on the clock. It's one that could become more appealing, and having a Pickens land with another team while a top receiver comes off the board to the Dallas could certainly send a shockwave through the NFL. Assuming the Cowboys were open to trading George Pickens, an ideal return would be the first round pick. That's not incredibly likely given his history and the salary he is setting to command. However, that means more realistic return would be a second round selection. So a Dallas currently doesn't have selection in a second round, and adding one might allow them to truly rebuild the defensive side of the ball. So there is many reasons why the Cowboys could be comfortable trading a wide receiver, George Pickens. For the Cowboys, trading Pickens wouldn't be completely about the return. While they would be getting more bucks than what they traded for Pickens in 2025, the real reason they would be open to the move is to avoid paying another receiver high dollar contract after extending a CeeDee Lamb contract in 2024. This only makes sense. However, if there is a viable wide receiver, perhaps they do not dart in Elian Flowner, who had a strong second season in the NFL. If the Cowboys believe Flowner could take another steps this year, they might be more comfortably trading Pickens and adding more firepower to their defense. The Dallas Cowboys are armed with a two first-round picks in 2026 NFL Draft. With just a 3 weeks until the festivity kicks off on the North Shore in the Pittsburgh, the Dallas has plenty of option when a draft rolls around as it continues looking to improve the roster. A common opinion is that the Dallas Cowboys should use both first-round picks on the star and defensive prospect to improve their put lead unity, which ranked number 13 overall in the league last season. But what if the team decided to use some extra picks to move around in the NFL draft order? That's exactly what Bruce Feldman of The Athletic suggests for the Cowboys should do. In this latest mock draft, Feldman has the Cowboys making a major trade with Arizona Cardinals to land the player number 3 overall picks in the draft. So you would think the Cowboys would have to give up both first round picks to enter the top 3, right? Not if you are a Feldman. His trade proposal has the Cowboys pulling off the draft day haste that would send the number 12 overall picks and the team third rounder to the Cardinal pick number 3 to land the Texas Tech superstar David Baylor. And also the Dallas Cowboy targets 4 wide receivers in 2026 NFL draft and mocks. A wide receiver might not be pressing needs for the Dallas Cowboys, but they could still consider adding one of these 4 prospects in the 2026 NFL draft. The NFL draft takes place in 3 weeks, and the Dallas Cowboys currently have 2 picks in the round 1 and 8 selection overall. They are expected to focus on defense early, which makes sense considering this side of the ball was disaster for them in 2025. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer wouldn't rule out an offensive player in round 1, but that feels unlikely unless a premier talent fall to them. Still, the Cowboys are doing their homework on every pair, and that includes a wide receiver even with a CeeDee Lamb and hopefully George Pickens on the roster. Dallas could add more depth. That said, he is look at 4 wide receivers and who would make a sense. Those 4 wide receiver, we're going to see about those 4 wide receiver and who can make a sense when signed with a Dallas Cowboy. Number 1 is Skylar Bailey. At 6 foot and 192 pounds, Skylar Bailey isn't the biggest wide receiver, but also he is dominated during his final season with the Huskies. Bailey had 101 receptions for 1,278 yards and 13 touchdowns. He has the versatility to play inside, the outside, and displayed a solid athleticism at the NFL combined when he can run 40 yards dash on the second and recorded 41 inches on a vertical jump. The other player who has a chance more than other is a Bryce Lance. From a North Dakota state. Trey Lance didn't pan out on backup quarterbacks in the Dallas, but perhaps they could have a better luck with his young brothers. Bryce Lance emerged as a star for a North Dakota State, tapping 1,000 yards receiving in each of his final 2 seasons with the Bisons. He doesn't offer much versatility, seems as primarily an ex-receiver, but he wins a contested passes and has more than enough juice to beat a defenders downfield. Player number 3 is Alegi Virgil on Texas Tech. The Cowboys have been linked to 3 defenders on Texas Tech, with a David Baylor, a Lomelo Haight, and Jacob Rodriguez, all named as a potential fits. That doesn't mean that shouldn't be a scouting the Red Raiders offense as well. On that side, the ball, Leggy Virgil stands out as an integrity prospect after locking up 816 yards and averaging 19 yards per catch for a Miami Virgil. Transferred to Texas Tech. With a Red Raiders, he recorded 75 yards and 6 touchdowns. What really would make him popular with a Dallas coaching staff is his competitiveness, and which include his work as a blocker. Also, Omar Cooper Jr. former player of Indiana, is the one receiver the Cowboys have met with is Omar Cooper Jr., who is a potential first-round pick, a well-rounded receiver who can do it all, and a Cooper is seen as ideal wide receiver at the next level. Close 1 sack and 2 forced fumbles and 2 interceptions. Buccaneers defensive coordinator Matt Patricia told the Scrounger Hour that ours will be the smartest player on whichever teams draft him and should be a face of the franchise. He wrote, the Cowboys need that on defense even if safety isn't valued the same as the pass rusher at a cornerback. Downs could team up with Jalen Thompson and Malik Hooker on the back end and help curtail the big plays that hurt Dallas last season. If he is on the board, he would play multiple games and be still at number 12. There was been a lot of speculation that Downs could go fifth to the New York Giants. Furthermore, many draft analysts see him as one of the most NFL-ready players in these years because of his impressive versatility and high football IQ. All-American and Jim Thorpe Awards winner had 68 tackles and 2 forced fumbles and 2 interceptions and sacks this past season. So the Cowboys' top draft target get NFL camp to a Super Bowl camp. And former Dupuy, one of the most commonly linked in 2026 NFL draft prospect for the Dallas Cowboys, has gained a net pro comparison that should excite the fan base. The Dallas Cowboys are gearing up for what will hopefully be an incredible haul in 2026 NFL draft with 2 first-round picks in their team. The Dallas has opportunity to learn to impact players with the expectation that the team focus will remain on improving on the defensive side of the ball. As the draft season has rolled on, there appears to be a growing consensus that the Cowboys could do focus on a Tennessee volunteer star cornerback Jermud McCoy with the pick's number 12 overall pick. Dispute sitting out last season after suffering a torn ACL, which raises some natural concerns for the Cowboys nation. McCoy is widely considered the top cover corner in this year class. He also put on show at his private pro days, showing he has made a strong recovery. If a Dallas doesn't select McCoy, the team could be getting a long-term solution at cornerback, with his NFL players comparison landing on a Super Bowl champion and a former NFL Defensive Player of the Year who spent 13 seasons in the league, including one with the Cowboys, where he became a fan favorite. So Cowboys consensus draft target Jermud McCoy blows away a scout at Pro Day. The Dallas Cowboys have been eyeing a Tennessee volunteer star Jermud McCoy leading up to the NFL 2026 draft, and just received some amazing news. With the NFL draft less than 1 month away, it is no surprise that the Dallas Cowboys are eyeing some of the top defensive talent in 2026 class. Luckily, the Cowboys have two first-round picks in just over 3 weeks and loaded a group of the talented defenders to choose from. To kick off the new league year, the Cowboys were uncharacteristically active in free agencies, where he signed 7 free agencies and added several defensive backs who could make an immediate impact on the secondary. So with the NFL draft less than 1 month away, it is no surprise that the Dallas Cowboys are eyeing some of the top defensive talent in the 2026 class. Luckily, the Cowboys have two first-round picks in just over 3 weeks and loaded a group of the talented defenders to choose from. So to kick off the new league year, the Cowboys were uncharacteristically active in free agencies and added several defensive backs who could make an immediate impact on secondary. Jermud McCoy pro day numbers in this period is 40 yards and vertical jump of 78 and broad jump is 10. If there were any concerns among the Cowboys nation about the team potentially targeting another cornerback coming off a serious knee injury, everyone can rest easy. McCoy proved at the workout that he showed on film during the 2024 campaign, which earned him a first-team All-Sec honors. McCoy is widely regarded as the top cover corner in this year's class, and is a favorite among the draftnik community when it comes to projecting the Cowboys pick number 12 overall. If the Cowboys can add McCoy to the defensive backfield to go with all of the other off-season moves, the pass defense will immediately take a positive step forward in upcoming season. Of course, after ranking number 32 in the league last year, the only way to go is up. So, the 2026 NFL Draft will be held in Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania